Step into the octagon. My wallet shining. I'm a great American professor. Oh, like a tumor nugget 주로. Oh, college school 나가래. Hey, training Atlanta, friend of cannabis, flying triangles, elevates. Yo, I represent Test Planet. Professor O's, America, 아주가 말해 부러지리 ambassador. Professor O's, America, 마모테 브라질, oi halate. Professor O's, Test Planet. Professor O's, America, 이게 원사원이 마와래.
Scoop passing. Why would we use scoop passing? So scoop passing is going to be great when the legs are supinated. I'm going to show you a couple of examples and strategies as to why we might use the scoop passing, just as an introduction before we move forward with the positions themselves. Okay, so if my partner Aiden right here, or my opponent, is playing a butterfly guard, maybe sitting, okay, this is not the position he uses scoop pass for, okay, obviously. What am I scooping? The only thing available for me would be underhooks, or maybe attacking his head, stepping to the inside and all that jazz, okay? That's different from if he's all the way back there and the leading edge are his two legs right here, okay? Now, I want you guys to understand that his legs are in a specific position when the knees are wide and the feet are in closer to his groin, okay? That is a supinated position. Just like your arms when they're here. I know my elbows are close to my body right here. That's a whole rant about how it's different. But believe me, the legs are supinated right here, okay? So just like the arms, that means that they're better for lifting against, okay? Lifting, okay? It's easier for him. This is the path that they want to move in. They want to come up. So if I'm like trying to just step inside and get inside position, the legs are going to pummel to the inside way easier, okay? This is a problem for me. I have to use different tools against people that play a high guard with their feet up wide and with their knees out. I have to use different tools. Those tools, scoop passing is a good one for that, okay? So we're going to look at a couple of the different positions, okay? Here, if I'm in an open stance, we have under the leg right here, okay? If I am fighting a square player, we have double under scoop grips, okay? And then finally, we also have, if I'm in an open position and then I go to a closed position, okay, then I can go with a cross scoop. And we see this all the time with lateral passers like Elder Cruz. The cross scoop is there a lot. Andrew Tackett likes the cross scoop. So these scooping grips are great tools to pass players that have a high guard like this, okay? Different from if they play with their legs pronated. When his leg pronates down here and starts pushing against me, the scoop grip's not available anymore, okay? It's when the knee flares that it's available. An example would be like, if he pronates his leg to push me away right here, the scoop grip is not the best tool for this. When he lifts his knee up high, maybe because he wants to pummel and lasso, the scoop grip is a great tool, okay? Also, if I took my opponent down and he was a wrestler, or probably wrestled up on him, or I hit like a leg lock and then came up on top of it, and it's 80cc rules, I can't afford for this guy to stand back up and force me to wrestle again. The scoop grip is an incredible tool to use for holding somebody down, okay? So as soon as I can get this grip, and now, he cannot turn. Like, can you turn anywhere? He can't turn. It prevents rotations, okay? If I was to go with a cross scoop, it's going to prevent him from rotating as well. Like, he'll only be able to turn to face me. Yep, see what I'm saying? So, and then maybe I could like pummel to the inside, get a same side scoop, he cannot turn. Like, these prevent rotations very well. Much better than just grabbing wrists, grabbing heads, okay, laying on him, okay? Scoop grips are an incredible tool for holding somebody down. So we're gonna look into some of these techniques, and hopefully you can take something from this. So get ready for scoop grips. Okay, we're going to look at some entries to scoops. So what's important about entering into the scoop is that I am committing to being attached to my opponent when I make a scoop, okay? So it's kind of similar to like wrestling with like arm drags and whatnot, or when you go for like an inside grip single. Scoop grips are very similar. You're attached to a person in a way that it's not going to be easy for them to break the grip and move away from you, okay? It's a very, very strong grip, okay? In fact, it's so strong, I want to show you guys this. When he lays down, like if I have a same side scoop, look, I can stand up and I can literally drag Aiden's ass across the mat everywhere, okay? He can try to scoot, like move away from me. You know, use your elbow on the floor, try to scoot away. He can't. Come here, you know, he can't, okay? Now, going into the entrances to the scoop grip, when entering the scoop grip, we have to look at the stance is important, okay? In wrestling, for example, so if you stand up, Aiden. In wrestling, we have an open stance, which is quite convenient for showing techniques from because it's very easy for the audience to see me in an open stance, okay? I have my lead foot matching his foot almost like we're in a mirror. When he switches his stance, now this is a closed stance, okay? It's hard for you to see Aiden's face. He's closed off from the audience. They can't see him, okay? So this is applied as well from passing if Aiden lays down. If Aiden is in a open guard, okay, and it's easier to visually see this if he sits up. Now blade your stance. Yes. Now you see he has a lead leg, just the same as I do. If he lays down in this bladed stance, basically, he's still in an open stance, okay? He's opened towards the audience, right? Now that's different if I decide to switch. Now I'm closed off from the audience, okay? Now, because there's so much distance between us, it's a little harder to see that. But as you can see when I get closer, now you see we're in a closed stance. When I get closer, you see we're in an open stance, okay? So these laws are very similar to wrestling when I'm passing the guard. We can apply some of the same concepts with connection when we're passing, okay? So in an open stance, it's gonna be easier for me to enter onto this same side scoop grip. You see that? When I go to a closed stance, whether I'm like on my knee or standing, it's gonna be easier for me to move to a cross scoop grip, okay? You would see this more often when I'm laterally passing and he's defending here and he swings this wide, boom, cross scoop grip. Okay, someone like Elder Cruz does that a lot, okay? Very good at it. So, you see that's from a closed stance, okay? Now there's some weaknesses that come along with all of that as well, and some strengths with both of those, but that's just an example, okay? Now, if he goes square, high guard, this is the time for me to go with double unders. So you have your entrances to these scoops. I have same side, okay? I have cross side. And now I have, when he's like, shit, I don't want to turn on my side anymore, I have double unders, okay? So, if you guys are looking to build that connection, then that's a great way to do it, is to look at these different stance opportunities in your opponent's positioning or orientation. That tells you which tool to use for the job with scoop grips. Let's look at some fundamentals of the double scoop grip. So if he lays down and he's playing his high guard, okay? And I want to go under both legs, right? This is it's a great way to control him. He can't really turn to either side. I can stay connected to him. There's not really a favored side here. My weight distribution isn't on a particular favored side, and I get to choose which way to go. So maybe strategically, if I was fighting somebody that likes to defend passes to the left, then I can basically come this way. If he's somebody that likes to defend passes to the right, then I can come the opposite direction, okay? So the double scoop grip's a great tool for versatility. I can pick either side. Maybe they're more flexible on a particular side. I can go to the opposite side. So that's a great choice. It also makes it way harder for him to sit up. He can't sit up, okay? There are a couple weaknesses here though, okay? If Aiden turn towards the camera. Aiden can lock a no arm triangle if I'm screwing up here. He can lock a no arm triangle, that's available, so we have to be wary of those. He can also do like a back flip. He can do like a back somersault. Once I go to heist him up on my hips, which we're gonna go over in a minute here, he can do a back somersault. Yes, yeah, right here, okay? And then he can come up on a double leg. Now, I can also threaten front headlocks and do a go behind. So that's also an option as well. So we have a lot of cool things we can do with the double scoop grip. But the first thing I have to do is pull my elbows in tight, okay? I have a gable grip right here, and I'm going to pull them up into my lap, okay? Now I can proceed with the double under scoop grip, okay? Let's start with the double scoop flank. So with the double scoop flank, I get him up in my lap. Now I can lean forward, all right? And I'm going to grab his opposite shoulder, all right? Cross shoulder. Whichever side I'm going to, I gotta grab that cross shoulder, okay? Now I'm going to sprawl out with my right leg and look towards his feet. If I wanna go to the other side, pull him up to my lap. I go to the cross shoulder. I'm going to turn my hips. If you remember from one of my other classes, transverse hips. Okay, so I have one heavy hip. It's going to extend out into pronation as I sprawl on his body and look the other way. Okay, so that's a simple flank using the double scoop grip. Hope that helps. Now we're gonna look a little bit more into that flip move. So a guy that did this was Pedro Marino, did a double scoop grip flip on Andre Porfirio. And I thought it was a great strategy. This happened at like IBJJF No Gi Pans, I think, a long time ago. And it was a great strategy because Pedro's guillotine is very strong. He has a good front headlock, chin strap game. And Andre Porfirio likes to play high guard. In fact, Andre Porfirio's answer for a lot of people that played like double scoop grips and stuff was to have a strong no arm triangle. I mean, he almost popped the top of my head off when I was a brown belt, and he did that to me. I didn't tap, but it hurt. I'll tell you that. It was a solid attack. Now, I noticed several guys did that no arm triangle from Unity. They were also Cicero Costa guys. There were also guys that played with very supinated legs, so their knees came out wide and they would pummel their feet in, right? So it's funny that these guys, Cicero Costa, go to Unity, they train with Murilo Santana, who happens to be one of the best pressure passers out there. And so they happen to develop a defense with a strong no-arm triangle, good guard retention, and Murilo probably got better at pressure passing because of that as well. So it was a great contrasting style. I thought it was really cool that these guys developed their game like that. And so I took note when I saw that Pedro decided to do that as a strategy in their match. So I'm going to show it to you guys right here, my best account of it. You might want to go see this video, but we're going to look at it. So we get him up Murilo Santana style, right? And maybe like I'm trying to go cross side, but he keeps messing with my arms by maybe pushing on my elbows and walking his hips away from me. Okay, when he starts shimmying his hips away from me. Now, maybe he's trying to pummel his feet in as well. Okay, so all of that can be a problem. If I keep my pressure really high on him, I can get his hips up. Okay, now, eventually he doesn't want this pressure anymore, and he might think it's a good idea to do a back somersault so he can shoot in for like a takedown and start wrestling. Okay, if I anticipate this, then it's a great strategy for me to get back exposure. Okay, so let's look at it in real time. I go here, all right, I'm gonna start pressuring forward. He's going to carry that for as long as he can. He's gonna back roll, and then I go right into, I'm gonna kind of sprawl out a little bit. I can hit my chin strap. When he reaches in to start clearing my hands, reach in to clear my hands, I can move to the back, okay? One more time. So maybe he was like playing a high guard. I'm here, pushing the feet, dive in, pull him up, drop down, start attacking the head, okay? And then I'm gonna circle to the back. If he doesn't defend, then I can sit for a guillotine. One more time on the guillotine. So he's playing a high guard here. I walk out, dive in, up, here, boom. So there you have it, some double scoop grip attacks. I hope those can help you controlling those squirrely opponents. Let's look at the fundamentals of the single scoop now. So if Aiden lays down, you can turn a little bit. Yeah. So as I said before, the single scoop is going to be good when I can get into an open stance. Okay. So I favor a side. Maybe I'm going for like your basic knee slide, right? And he starts trying to throw his leg wide. Okay. That's the opportunity to be catching it. Okay. Now, if he's turning his knee down here, going pronated, there is no scoop grip right here, okay? This is going to be for people that keep their knee up, okay? Now, you might be wondering, well, why can't I just knee slide somebody that keeps their knee up? Well, there's a lot of reasons, okay? He can use his elbow right here, near side elbow, to just like push my knee right here when I put pressure down, try to knee slide, and I'm not getting it, okay? Also, another reason is, as I said before, you want to be able to control your opponent from like rotating and getting up. So if I can get in here, this is great with the scoop grip, okay? Now, when I get in here with this scoop grip, I want you guys to notice I have this inside shoulder right here, okay? It's not under his leg right here. This is going to be a bad scoop grip. I don't really have opposing forces to control the rotation of this knee, and it's easy for him. That's because it's also easy for him to straighten it out, okay? That's different from if I have my shoulder on the inside right here. Turn a little bit. It's different from if I have my shoulder on the inside right here, where I can now apply opposing force, and now he cannot rotate it as easily, okay? Especially once I start leaning into it, okay? When I start leaning into this, he starts trying to turn his knee down. Yeah, try to slip the grip. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Keeps them spread open like peanut butter. Sorry, you're probably wondering now, well, Professor, what do I do now that I've got this scoop grip? Well, I'm gonna show you how to pass, okay? What's cool is we have this arm available right here. If we have cross posts hitting us, okay, I can mess with the cross post. And all I gotta do is start leaning and putting pressure into this, and my knee is going to start driving back against the mat, okay? So what I'm doing with my leg is kind of sprawling it or pronating it, okay? Look, I'm on the inside shoulder position. I'm gonna lean forward. I can grab his head right here too if I want. I can grab the back side, I can grab the same side, and I'm just going to drive my knee down and sprawl out through there, okay? So it's very important that when I do this, my knee stays close to his hip as possible, okay? I don't want to come out this way, all right? See, what happens here is my stance is too open. Now my stance is basically giving him the back exposure he needs, and I'm just leaving my arm kind of isolated behind me, okay? So that could cause a couple problems. Like he could reach up and grab my armpit, for example, on the back or whatever. Yeah, then I'm screwed, okay? So in order for this strong same side scoop grip to work, I need to keep my knee close to his hip right here, and I need to be driving back into it and then coming through, okay? Just for concepts, you guys see it, I'm basically doing a switch from an open stance to a closed stance. Look, I'm open, I'm driving in, so I can walk my front leg forward, and now look, I'm in a closed stance, okay? My body is now perpendicular with his body. So, when you guys want to apply that single arm scoop grip, I hope that helps. Now that we have a great scoop grip pass, let's look at some entries to the scoop grip, okay? So, for the same side scoop grip, obviously he's gonna be on his side, okay? It could be I step to the inside against my opponent, and then we come to a knee slide, his legs up, I'm trying to crowd him with my shoulder, I have inside shoulder, I wrap it, okay? That's one option. Let's say I'm in half guard and he's pulling his knee back in, okay? That's a great time for me to move to a scoop grip, okay? So I was in half guard, he posted, I have a scoop grip. I can come back here. I can continue to hold him down and not let him rotate like you might want to get up and stuff like that. He can't create space. That's the most space I'm gonna give him, okay? He was able to push me back, I got the scoop grip, I'm still attached to him, very connected. So, let's say I step to the inside, okay? And I get both legs on the inside, and then I scoop this up, and then I decide to come down, and yeah, I'm in a closed position right now, but I can still bring my knee through, okay? So these are a couple options for you. I can break the legs open, get the scoop grip, and then start moving into the position I want to be to start advancing, all while holding him down. I step to the inside with both legs, here, boom. I got the scoop grip, keep the pressure on, pass, boom. One more attack that we can use from the scoop grip would be a leg lock, okay? So that would look like this. He's laying down. If for example, I was in a closed stance with Aiden, then I can actually enter the leg just as much as he can enter my leg. Okay, so this is important. If you guys are gonna get a scoop grip from up here, which is kind of lazy, all right, maybe I was like X-passing, right? I'm doing all my X-passing and stuff like that, but I wanted to get the scoop grip, okay? I can attack his leg just like he can attack mine, but I have to be on the inside, okay? So I can do this spin to the far side leg through my knee slides, and then I have a 411, okay? I could be here, maybe he's pushing me up really hard, he's pushing his leg really hard. Yeah, exactly, away, extending. We have a concept of extension versus compression. When an opponent extends, that's a great time for a limb, to isolate a limb and do some sort of a lock on it, okay? This is no exception. If he extends, okay, that's a great time for me to attack the leg. I can slide with a close stance. I can slide through and attack the far leg and enter the 411. Real quick, turn towards the camera and try to make it look flashy. So I enter here, 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 boom. Break. Here, pushes, here, boom, turn, boom. So there you have it, an attack from the scoop grip with that leg that we have isolated. He's extending away from his body. That's a great opportunity for us to fill that space with our body. Even from a close stance, attack the far leg for a 411 entry. Hope you like that. This is a great strategy, for example, if somebody's playing a sitting guard, okay? They're looking to get to the inside of my legs, all right? And I just start running around laterally, okay? Now, if I start pushing on his body, you see I'm in a closed stance right here, all right? Let's freeze it, for example, for a second so you can see this. When I'm circling laterally and I'm trying to step towards his head, I'm not gonna be able to clear that much distance if I stay in an open stance with him. This doesn't make sense. He'll be able to throw this leg high, right? Okay, if I'm in a closed stance, when I circle towards the head, well now I can either drop into a north-south, or he's probably gonna do this where he throws this leg wide. I can move into the scoop grip, cross scoop grip, okay? So let's look at the fundamentals here with the cross scoop grip. When I go for the cross scoop grip, I have to keep my weight on him, okay? This is because when I come around the corner, he's going to be trying to turn and pull this knee down towards the mat. It'll look like this. I come around, he pulls that towards the mat. I'm not gonna beat that. So I have to keep my weight on him, okay? So backing up. When I hit this cross scoop grip, I have to keep my weight on him. My head's gonna stay close. Okay, I'm gonna circle and look to move to north-south. Like a little Spider-Man, okay? You're gonna wanna stay really low when you're doing the cross scoops. Again, maybe you can sit up. I'm up here. I'm circling. I change sides. You see how I got like a reverse grip or a reverse grip on his head right here? Look again, he was sitting up. I was circling, switch sides here, okay? With a connection on his leg or something, okay? Now, if I stayed in an open stance, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna recompose. If I cross, now, I see the north-south, I can try to close that distance, and I will be met with frames and probably this outside leg swinging wide. Yes, and you can catch it and come through. Great example of this move is Andrew Tackett versus Owen Flanagan. You'll also, or Owen Flanagan, sorry. And then you'll also see people like Kenta, B-team players like these lateral movement, cross-side scoop grips. Elder Cruz likes this move. So if you guys want to see a bunch of different variations and setups for that, they're great guys to watch compete. I'll probably do a breakdown of those and then come back and we can run through those another time. But that cross-side scoop grip is a great one to chain with. Okay, there's a lot of change of direction happening there. It's also a great option for when people attack your legs. We're going to go over that in a second here. So when you're fighting a leg locker and we're in a closed stance, they're going to attack our legs. Okay, K-guard entries, for example. If I was doing my lateral passing and I'm standing over them, okay, maybe I was just trying to, it's early in the match, I'm trying to just see how I can get them tired and stuff. I'm doing this lateral passing, circling around to north-south. These leg lockers are gonna throw their legs wide, enter the K-guard with a scoop grip of their own, just from on the bottom, okay? And it'll look like this. So if he's sitting, and I circle here, right? Actually, let me circle. Okay, yeah. So I'm circling, boom, boom, and I get over here, he might hook my leg, right? Okay, so when he hooks my leg here, as you can see, I'm in a closed stance now. We're connected, okay? I cannot retrieve that leg back. I'm stuck in this closed stance. He's gonna throw his leg wide and exploit the scoop grip of his own. Now I can counter this with a cross scoop grip, okay? But the main thing that I'm using this cross scoop grip for is to slip my knee line, okay? I can't just get a cross scoop grip and then him meet my knee line with his hips and me be trapped. It's gonna be useless. This isn't gonna help, okay? But if I pressure this leg down and then weigh on his leg, like I said before with the cross scoop, I can slip my knee line and now I can start to come through to the other side, okay? So if I did this side, I come around lateral passing, I'm standing tall, he scoops, I scoop, cross scoop though, he has the same side scoop, I have a cross scoop. Now I can look to drop my knee, okay? And I'm gonna lean towards his head, I'm gonna pull that out and circle this way, okay? Now you're probably gonna find that it's not gonna be that easy, especially when you guys get slippery. What's gonna happen, I'm gonna circle about this far, and then he's gonna turn, drop this knee, throw the other leg through. You're fine, throw that other leg around. When he throws that other leg around, that's another time for me to hit another cross side scoop. Turn this way. Yeah, so I circle, he grips my leg, I go cross, I pin his other leg to the floor, I circle. I come up, come back, yep. Here, here, here. More. Here, slip the knee line. So you can use the cross scoop. You can use the cross scoop to help slip your knee line when you're dealing with a K-guard guy that's kind of like inverting and trying to put you in a leg lock. You can slip your knee line right there, and also get the pass. If you don't get the pass right off the rip, you can still be aggressive with your scoop grips and keep moving under him because his legs are going to be wide and tall, okay? So I hope you guys can utilize that next time you guys are fighting a leg locker. See you next time. So here, on this side. Same shit. Same carp somersault. That's fine. Same side scoop. Turn, same one. Leg lock. Here. Here. Fuck. Okay, sorry. Here. Here. Kirby used to do that. I miss that boy. All right, and then finally you're laying down. Or sorry, you're sitting up. Sit up. Throw wide. One more time. So here. Wide. And finally, maybe I'm here. Here. All right. Thanks, bro. This is a little bit different because this is like a reaction, okay? So this is a reaction to these guys throwing their wide supinated legs around, okay? They're wrapping, all right? The best arm to arm drag against is gonna be one that's an open elbow, right? So like, if we're just on our knees, right? And Aiden pushes on my elbow, okay? Then when I wipe it, you see that elbow is so separated away from his body. This is the best arm to arm drag, okay? The worst arm to arm drag is one where the elbow is tight to the body, okay? If his hand's out here, okay, there's no arm drag, okay? Now, we can talk about how his leg's probably not protected, but you see it's when his elbow leaves his body that this arm drag's available, okay? So, when his legs are supinated and his knees are flaring out wide, the scoop grip's available, okay? So if you lay down, wait, did I fuck that up? Because you're coming around wide. Here, so the knees open. Fuck, I might just not even use that explanation. So just sit up, yeah. Just scratch all that. I need to think about that one some more. So if you lay down, you want some Cheez-Its?
Oh no.
You don't want Cheez-Its? Okay. Oh wait, sorry, you gotta be sitting up. My bad. Yeah, I got hot and spicy.
Oh, that's what it
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah,
My hair look retarded? Come on, be honest.